Hello from sunny South Florida. I'm on the set of another gay sequel, and there's like nakedness over there. Can you see? Is it too bright?
Yeah, that would be great for me coming out of the
Say hello to RuPaul.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
This is so much fun. All these gorgeous men.
And you've gotten none?
Well, you know, been working.
Are you in a relationship?
With God.
You are?
No, actually, no, that's not true. I'm in a relationship with Satan.
We love Satan.
Join us, won't you?
A family is a family is a family.
It's a different voice and a different look at Rahway Public Library.
I think it's fantastic to teach, to, let's say, expose kids at an early age to something a little different so that as they grow up, it's not a big deal.
Meet Harmonica Sunbeam.
Do you know any songs that we can sing to start the day off?
I'm licensed ABC.
Harmonica is a drag queen, a man dressed as a woman reading to children as part of the Drag Queen Story Hour program at the library. And while this isn't a required event, it is in a public library, and that has fueled some negative comments beyond these walls.
It will just be confusion on their brain at a young age. A man dressed as a woman reading books to kids. It just trips up their mind at a young age, and I wouldn't want my child to even be confused with something like that at an early age.
This is one of the flyers CBS 2 News found posted against the program. The flyer says this event seeks to confuse kids as young as preschool age by presenting a feminine or semi-feminine looking person with a masculine voice. But that didn't stop the show.
Love yourself, love the world.
Love yourself, love the world.
Some living in Rahway glad the event wasn't canceled.
There was no issue until we saw people posting like, why is this happening? Like, why do you care? Like, if you don't like it, then don't go.
Love yourself and love the world. Love Todd.
This reading program travels from city to city throughout the country. In Rahway, New Jersey, Crystal Bowie, CBS 2 News.
I think I can see your beard. I see.
You can see my beard? Oh no!
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Miko.
Miko? I'm Isabella. What's your name?
Kristen.
Kristen? Nice to meet you. I'm Isabella. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Are you nervous?
Yes.
How come? Do I look scary? Do you know what I am? No? I'm a drag queen. Have you ever heard of a drag queen before? No?
What is a drag queen?
A drag queen is someone who expresses themselves creatively through performance. So dress up in wild costumes, big wigs, crazy makeup, and then get on stage and perform and entertain people.
And I know why you're speaking like that.
Like what?
Like, you look like you would speak in a different way,
Yeah?
but now you're speaking different. So now I know we're a boy.
I'm a boy? You're right. I'm a boy. I'm a boy.
Wait,
I-
what?
You didn't think I was a boy?
I've been thinking.
You thought I was a girl?
I've been thinking
No, I'm a
you're
boy. How do you feel about that?
A little bit weirded out, but like a little interesting.
Interesting? It's a lot to think about.
Do you always dress up as a girl?
Not always, only when I'm performing. I usually live most of my life in jeans and a t-shirt and a backwards ball cap.
That's really cool. So you're gay?
I am. Good question.
Did you curl your eyelashes?
I did. I use an eyelash curler. But yeah, your previous question, I am gay. I came out of the closet when I was 21 years old.
What's coming out of the closet means?
Coming out of the closet means when you tell everybody that you're gay. It's something that gay people have to do.
Do you have to be gay to do drag?
No, anybody can do drag. Drag is for anybody and everybody who wants to put on a fun costume and get up on stage and entertain people. Everybody should try drag at least once. It's really fun.
Even kids?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few kids that are starting to do drag.
Do dogs do drag?
Do dogs do drag? I mean, they can. You can dress a dog up in a dress and take him on stage with you.
So, why did you want to get to be a drag queen?
Why did I want to be a drag queen?
Or what's your inspiration?
Great questions. I first went and saw a drag show and thought it was really fun. And so I started playing with makeup and wigs and costumes and things, and then started performing and just fell in love with performing. I love being on stage. I've been a singer my entire life. Do you like to sing?
Yeah.
What do you like to sing?
I like to sing Moana.
Moana? What about you? Do you like to dance?
A little.
A little? Just a little bebopping?
I like to do this dance called the floss.
What's that?
It's like this.
Oh, the backpack kid dance. Yeah. It's called the floss?
Yeah, because it looks like you're flossing your teeth.
Oh, I get it. I'm into it.
Where did you get this sword? The sword.
This dress, I got, I had a designer make it for me.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a costume?
It is. Everything that I wear, I refer to as a costume.
Like Halloween?
It's kind of like Halloween every day. That's what I get to do for my job, is Halloween every day.
Except the candy part, there's no candy.
Sometimes there's candy.
Are your eyelashes real or fake?
Oh, they're definitely fake. I glued them onto my eye.
Glued?
Yeah.
What about the gems over there?
I glued those on too.
What about the lipstick?
The lipstick I just painted on.
Paint?
Yeah, and then I tapped glitter into it.
Glitter?
Yeah, glitter. I like everything to sparkle a little bit. I say if you're not sparkling, you're not trying. Right? Do you ever wear sparkly things?
Not really.
Not really? How come you don't wear anything sparkly?
Because I think some people at school make fun of me.
Well, those people, their opinions aren't important.
Do people ever make fun of you?
When I was younger, people did, but that's because, you know, kids do that. Kids can be mean. There's been a few times that I've encountered people that weren't quite as nice and were a little bit judgmental.
I know what to do.
What?
I know what to do. Just don't speak, because then they think you're like a real one.
Don't you think I should just be myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever wish you were a girl?
I don't. I like being a boy, but I enjoy dressing up like a girl. It's really fun.
What does your family think about your job?
You know, at first they were a little unsure of it. They didn't quite understand what I was doing. But as they learned more, they've opened up more to it. What would your family say if you were a drag queen?
Get out of this house.
Really?
That's what my dad would say.
Well, you know, you can change people's minds.
Yeah. I'm pretty much not weirded out now.
You're not?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm comfortable.
Anybody can do anything they want. If they want to wear a dress, that's fine.
You just
if
need
they want to wear
believe.
pants. Yeah. I just believe in it.
Thank you, Isabella.
Thank you guys. It was great to meet you. It's so good to meet you. Yeah. I'll see you later.
See you later.
I'm Isabella Exton, and thank you for watching Kids Meet a Drag Queen. If you want to know more about me, check down below in the description box and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Christian Mingle, all of them. And if you want to see more Kids Meet videos, click right here.
It's 2018. There's gonna be drag kids in the world. And I'm one of them. I got into drag when I watched the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. I stopped playing with my toys because my mom was watching it. I liked how they looked so fabulous, and I wanted to be like that. So I would take my mom's towels, bed sheets, etc., and her heels, and put them on, and then walk down the hallway, etc. I would try to look like Courtney, but it would turn out to look like a disastrous monster. Monstrosity. after I went viral and my 15 years of fame came, my mom's friend decided to make a Facebook page called Desmond is Amazing, and I like the name so much that I decided to keep it as my drag name, and it stuck. My mom is my dragager. We always bring on our drags because we're the dream team. You can express yourself however you want, and there's no boundaries to what you do. Because if you have to deal with negative things, it'll be more easier to deal with them. But if you're not expressing yourself, in my point of view, it's going to be hard to deal with it.
LGBTQ pride time.
Yes! Feels amazing that there's so many other drag kids out there expressing themselves. Just like my motto is, be yourself always, no matter what anyone says, and pay the haters no mind, because they'll never be as first as you and I. Anyone can do drag, even a dog. Woof woof.
So much reaction to Roseanne. Much like its original run, the reboot not shying away from social issues. And one of the characters on the show is a little boy who likes to dress in girls' clothing, sparking an important conversation for families.
Do you feel like you're a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Roseanne is back and bolder than ever.
So what's up with the girls' clothes?
This just feels like me. I like colors that pop. It's more creative.
How important is this to you?
It's important.
Well, you know it's going to be rough on you at school, right? But we'll back you up.
The groundbreaking sitcom reboot landing in over 18 million American households, igniting an important conversation about how to talk to your kids and grandkids about gender identity.
Kudos to Darlene for letting Mark be himself. I mean, given the choice, who knows how many children would choose a style different from what society has assigned to them.
Sarah Gilbert, who is back playing Darlene and is also a producer on the show, spoke out to Entertainment Weekly about her character's son, Mark, saying, he's a little boy. He's based on a few kids in my life that are boys who dress in more traditionally feminine clothing. He's too young to be gay, and he doesn't identify as transgender.
Here's the thing. You are weird. I'm weird. This whole family's really weird, right? So you just gotta hang in there until people figure out that weird is cool.
How does this look?
Oh, you look great, buddy.
These young people who don't know how they identify or are figuring it out or discovering it, this probably opened a lot of hearts and minds and eyes.
A family can be made up in many different ways.
It's called Shoji, for sexual orientation and gender identification. A curriculum that teaches public school students across Canada to celebrate the homosexual lifestyle and that gender is fluid. In other words, your gender is not dependent on what parts you were born with, but rather what you feel like in the moment.
There's people that are boys, there's people that are girls. There are people whose gender might be a little bit of both or might even be neither.
Lessons include books about transgender children, such as 10,000 Dresses, and songs like the Rainbow Song.
Gender won't decide the choices we make. Some boys like dressing up, some girls like catching snakes.
The Shoji curriculum started in British Columbia in 2016 and is quickly spreading throughout Canada.
I just thought, who decided that this was okay to teach our children?
Author and inspirational speaker Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson is a leading voice against the Shoji curriculum.
And we are seeing the results of that now, because some kids are reacting very emotionally and saying, you know, and they're in fear. Will I be, you know, will I suddenly struggle with feeling like a different gender inside of my body?
Carrie Simpson of Culture Guard, another leading opponent, calls the curriculum nothing short of child abuse.
All those beautiful qualities that make young girls, beautiful girls and women, are being basically vilified. The things that make our boys boys are being, you know, taken from them. So things of equating young men to being strong protectors is something that's now evil.
But Morgan Auger, a transsexual and supporter, claims it's about acceptance, not indoctrination.
The idea is to teach kids that there are gay kids and there are trans kids and there are trans parents and gay parents in our society, and everybody's wanted and desired. After all, that's what our Human Rights Code says, and it's the role of schools to teach the following of our laws, right?
Simpson disagrees, saying she sees Shoji's real goal as
altering our culture from a heteronormative society into one where anything goes, no boundaries, no values, no morals. It's a hedonistic cult, basically, what they're implying.
Another blaring example, drag queen story time. It's happening in Canada and America, where some public schools and libraries invite drag queens, some dressed like horned demons, to read to young children.
The Heights Public Library today debuting a new children's story hour called Drag Queen Story Time.
Good morning, everybody!
The Heights Library had a special guest for story time.
Oh my goodness. Everyone is dressed so nice. I wish I would have worn a nice costume for y'all.
A visitor who usually performs for an older audience.
My name is Blackberry. I'm a bearded drag queen. That means I'm a lady with lots of facial hair. Do you want to touch my hair? No?
This program is geared towards kids 10 years old and younger.
I just want to expose them to things they don't get to see every day and want it to become the more normal and more accepted.
They've never seen a drag queen before, so I thought it was a good chance to see one.
But let's turn around and shake your butt. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them.
It was a first for this branch of the public library, too.
And it's a social deconstructionist agenda. They're using children, little 5-year-olds, to accomplish this. And parents are waking up and saying no.
When asked about parents' rights, Auger says,
well, actually, in Canada, parents' rights are limited, and children's rights are put ahead. So the child has the right to be protected from the parents when the parents behave badly.
A California kindergarten teacher is facing outrage after discussing gender identity with her students.
An emotional Rockland Academy teacher addressing a packed house of parents, many furious about her decision to discuss the topic of gender identity inside her kindergarten class.
It was never my intent to harm any students, only to support them through a difficult situation.
The teacher defended her actions to read 2 books she says were given to her by a transgender child going through a transition.
The kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
Parents say besides the books, the transgender student at some point during class also changed clothes and was revealed as her true gender. And many parents say they feel betrayed and blindsided.
A new regulation proposed by the Delaware Department of Education would allow students of any age to use bathrooms, locker rooms, and play on team sports based on their expressed gender identity, regardless of sex at birth.
Keelan Jeffers is an English major at Northern Arizona University. On a recent paper, she had a point deducted from her score because she used the word, brace yourselves now, mankind, to describe humanity. Her professor, Ann Scott, warned her that this was inappropriate gendered language, contrary to how the word has been used by almost everybody for centuries. Scott said mankind referred only to men and was therefore sexist.
Yes, she told me that the word mankind only refers to men. It doesn't actually include all of humanity.
Does the dictionary say that, or is there some authority that she pointed to confirm that position?
Well, she referred to the Modern Language Association, or MLA, and apparently they're enforcing this kind of gender-neutral language.
This is very scary stuff.
Longtime Vancouver area pastor Kevin Kavanaugh says this is far more serious than most Canadian Christians realize.
Our problem is not the teachers, the educators, the administrators. This is a battle in the heavenlies.
He says Satan is going after their most vulnerable, the children.
And the little girl came home in tears because the teacher had told her, since she was playing with some toys in the class that were deemed to be masculine in nature, that she was likely a boy in a girl's body. The mother went to the school the very next day, and instead of having any sort of tolerance or support or understanding, she was actually called names. She was told that she was a homophobe, that she was a bigot.
With that in mind, Tyler Thompson, Simpson, and Pastor Kevin are spreading their message across social media and in town hall meetings. The pro-gay backlash has been fierce.
And the hatred and the anger and the bullying that came against us, even though we said, we love you, we don't take from you the opportunity and the freedom to live as you choose. We love you, but we do not agree with you.
Pastor Kevin believes Canadian Christians are in a 2 Chronicles 20 moment.
The word was this battle is not yours, Jehoshaphat. This battle is the Lord's.
And the church is beginning to prepare for what it takes to fight for our kids.
Lactatia is the deviest diva you could ever think of. I've been wearing like my sister's tutus since I was like 3s and 4s, even like 2s, and I've been dancing around in like little pink dresses and stuff. So yeah, I think I've had lactation inside of me since I was born, and that's why I love that song, Born This Way.
We just want our kids to express themselves however they see fit, as long as it's respectful and they're nice people. We really don't care.
I like dancing, and I like performing, and I love, not only like, I love dressing up. It makes me feel very happy, like I am accepted. The yellow wig with the red dress, and then the blonde wig with this dress.
Okay. When he was about 2, he came to me with Mr. Potato Head earrings and asked me to put makeup on him. So we did a little like drag photo shoot, and he duck faced. It was very sweet. And yeah, anytime he wanted makeup, I just put some on him.
A little bit of dark and a little bit of swoon, and then a little bit of power couple. I want natural contour.
You want realness?
Yeah.
You want drag realness?
Yes. I also want stuff coming off of my eyes.
When he was about 7, we started watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I think when he saw that that was an actual art form and they could be whatever they wanted, I think he decided that that's when drag was going to be like his life.
I love them because they do what they want to do, and they're not afraid to do it. My friends at school think Lactatia is very courageous. She's really good at dancing. They also think that she's really good at playing video games and stuff like that. You know, with the pew 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 pew.
He used to be called Peaches Demure. That was the original drag name. It's only been a few months since like the name Lactatia has been around. His sister picked it for him.
Lactatia is a diva all time.
I ain't a diva and you are not a diva. I am the real diva up in here.
A diva can be a drag queen, a diva can just be a woman, a diva can be a man, but I wouldn't really call a man a diva. I would call a man a divler. I know people would like go up to their parents and tell them that they want to be a drag queen, and then their parents would be like, you shouldn't even know what that is. I don't think that should be a thing. I don't think that other people should judge what people do.
It's overwhelming. Like, you feel overwhelmed with like pride that your child is, you know, expressing themselves and showing the world, and it's being so well received, and you know, she's pretty good at what she does.
If you're shy because of people that don't want you to do something, then you have to just man up and be like, okay, I'm not listening to you. I can do what I want, and this is what I want to do.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hello.
My advice to you is keep going. Learn your lyrics well. Give them face, give them choreography, give them a lot of energy. They will always remember your energy. Left foot forward. There you go. And chest up, head up. When you give them your face, just do it like it's a rainbow sweep, as in you're gonna take in all of this wonderfulness. Just like, there you go. Diva in the making. I love it. It's because of people like you that I'm here. You are my replacement. And you're gonna be wonderful at this. You're gonna have lots of fun with it. And it's gonna take you to a lot of wonderful places.
I take voguing classes.
Oh, you take voguing classes? By the time you turn 12, you are going to be a weapon of mass devastation.
A lot of people ask me if I'm gonna be a drag queen forever, and it's always the same answer. Probably. I hope I'm still gonna be a drag queen. And if I'm not, that's totally fine. But I really hope that I can keep my lactation inside of me for the rest of my life.
Wonderful. Work, Diva! Yes, mama!
And this I have to show you. So Huffington Post is now pitching drag children. This has become a thing. This has become a thing on the left, that there are a bunch of 8 to 10-year-old kids, boys, who decide to dress up as drag queens and now are being promoted by their parents and put in the media. So I have a general problem with child actors as just a whole. I think it's a huge mistake for parents to get their children into acting publicly, because I don't think that children should be exposed to public discourse as a general rule. I think the kids don't know enough about what they want in their own minds. They're not capable of making reasoned decisions. They're not capable of making good decisions. I think it is particularly awful for parents to be exploiting their 10-year-old boys by dressing them up as girls or allowing them to dress up as girls and parade them in front of cameras looking like drag queens because this is somehow good for them. These are 10-year-olds. They're not capable. You wouldn't allow your 10-year-old to decide whether or not to do his homework that night. Why would you allow him? The hormones haven't even hit at 10 years old. This kid doesn't know he's gay. He's 10 years old. Unless he had an early onset puberty, he probably hasn't thought about sex yet. He's 10. Okay, but we're supposed to believe that this kid is somehow doing something brave and wonderful, according to Huffington Post. This is a form of child abuse. Here's Huffington Post promoting it. This is a 10-year-old boy who, if you can't see, is wearing a blonde wig and blue lipstick, dressed up as a drag queen.
I was born in Pride Month in the year 2007. Gay pride means self-expression to me. Hi, I'm Desmond is Amazing. I'm 10 years old and I'm a drag kid and I live in New York City and I am an LGBTQ activist and advocate.
Stop it for a second. This kid is 10 years old. How in the hell is this kid an LGBTQ activist? First of all, 10-year-olds should not be activists about anything. Anything. The only thing you can fairly make a case for on politics, why 10-year-olds should be activists, is maybe on pro-life issues, just because they're not dead. But otherwise, even then, I wouldn't use a kid as an activist for pro-life causes, and I love pro-life causes. But to make a kid an activist on sexual matters is perverse. Okay, it's actually perverse. If there were an adult who were not this kid's parents who dressed this kid up this way and put this kid in public, you would know that this was something perverse. And that's what Huffington Post is. Huffington Post isn't these kids' parents, but it's absurd. There's more of this. As a parent of 2 children, I cannot imagine doing anything remotely like this to my kid. Even if my kid wanted to dress like this, even if I thought it was okay for my kid to dress like this, putting my kid in front of cameras and playing that as an act of bravery on my part is just disgusting.
Drag is a form of expression and being yourself and dressing however you want and looking fierce, no matter what you're wearing. Even if your eyeliner went down and it's like so bad, you still look fierce. My motto is be yourself always, but I like to add this on. no matter what anyone says, and pay to hate no mind because they're not spirit-sized either.
Okay, can we stop for a second again? So that's the end of it, I think. So this kid, notice the use of the word fierce there. Okay, this is because this kid has been culturally indoctrinated into the use of certain terms, right? 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds, they don't know the word fierce unless you have been engaged in a particular culture that glorifies a particular set of values. And listen, as your parent, if that's what you want to do and it's not damaging your kid, that's one thing. But to trot this kid out as an activist, as a free-minded activist, is really quite gross. You want to be 18 and do this again, that's your prerogative. You want to be 25 and do this. You want to be an adult and do this. That's your prerogative. But this is a parent who decided that they were going to get their kid some attention and decided that they were going to therefore encourage these sorts of tendencies in the kid. You think this kid isn't going to experience a harder life? I'm not even talking about quote-unquote oppression from people outside of this kid. I'm not even talking about bullying, which of course is not appropriate in any case. What I am talking about here is that confusing kids about their own sexual identity and gender at the age of 10 and not attempting to provide them any sort of solid grounding for this stuff before they even hit puberty is not a recipe for mental health. But the entire left would suggest that it's intolerant to say this. The only form of tolerance is to cheer along as a 10-year-old kid is dressed up in drag queen outfits and paraded in front of the drooling media. It really is quite horrifying.
And one of the things that I am realizing is that there is a spirit that is sweeping across the land, sweeping across the world, that is trying to suck and rob the innocence from these babies, from this young generation. That is what it's trying to do. Suck all of the innocence and the beauty from childhood. We know that the scripture does not play when it comes to kids. Our Messiah doesn't play. He loves the little ones. We know that it says that if you are to keep a little child basically from coming to him, you're going to mess with some kids, steal their purity and their innocence and screw them up. It is better that you have a millstone. That is a huge round stone, okay, that you would not be able to pull with your body, most likely, hung around your neck, and someone just throws your behind into the deep end of the ocean. So there are a whole lot of people right now staring down the barrel of a gun because of what they're doing to these kids. And I get it, like this righteous anger just rises up in me when it comes to kids, and I know so many of you probably feel the exact same way. These kids don't know what they're doing. When this photographer, this set director is just like, do this, do that, do this over your eye. They don't know what they're doing. Probably the majority of the adults that do it don't know what they're doing either. I even think some of the entertainers in the music industry and stuff might not know what they're doing. Some of them do. Some of them probably don't. But someone knows what's going on. A lot of you know I was in the modeling industry 12 years. Okay, so I've been on a lot of sets, and I've seen a lot of things, and I have heard a lot of things. And sometimes these set directors and camera guys don't even know what's going on. But what it is that either the higher ups are saying, this is what I want in the image, or nobody even knows why they're doing it, but the spirit of inspiration that is behind the creative process is a spirit of Antichrist. There is a spirit fueling. You know when they talk about muses and stuff, that they have spiritual muses? This is demonic. A lot of times it's demonic. And it's a spirit of Antichrist that is moving through people and inspiring them as to how to design the set for the music video, how to design the photo shoot. So we have to understand that. And the spirit of Antichrist is after the little ones. You guys, it breaks my heart that they're going after the babies. I want to show you guys a couple more images before I wrap this up. You see, we are called in Scripture to have faith like little children. It says, unless you have faith like a little child, you cannot see the kingdom of heaven. That's a bold statement. Have you ever stopped and really thought about that? Because children, they don't doubt. They trust so freely. Children have faith so easily. You don't have to convince them with long debates. They just believe. They just love. A lot of times a child doesn't see differences on the outside. They just love. It's just so raw. Most of you have probably been around children. It's just it's a realness. They just say it how it is, and they feel it how it is, and they know it how it is. Most kids that I've ever met, even with atheist parents, if I'll ask them if they know who God is, they're like, yeah, God made me. And so I get angry, but at the same time, it like really makes me sad. It's really, it's crazy. It's crazy. What a time to be alive. And we need to stand up for these kids. Don't get apathetic. We need to stand up for the truth, no matter what. The truth is going to get a lot of us persecuted and rejected, hated, and martyred. But we can't stop. We cannot stop running the race. We need to finish well. We need to continue to fight the good fight until he comes back. And he is coming back as a man of war. And he is coming back as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He came the first time as the Lamb of God, slain from the foundation of the world, for the sins of the world. But he's coming back as the conquering king. So don't get it confused or messed up or mixed up. This Jesus that they have presented to you, who's all calm all the time and doesn't care about your sin, and he's your homeboy, he's coming back as a man of war with a blood-stained robe, and he is going to crush this wickedness under his feet. So it's time to repent, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Our king is coming, and every eye is going to see him, and every tongue is going to confess that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, reigns over all, and he truly is Lord of all.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who, knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
Jesus will appear in the clouds of glory. There is coming a day when the heavens will split open and you will see the Son of God coming in the clouds of glory with great victory, with great power, and those who died will rise from the dead, and you and I who are alive will be caught up in the clouds of glory. My friends, I've come here to declare that Jesus is coming back again. You may have heard this many times, but let me say this, that Jesus is coming back again, and his time is imminent. We are living at the 11th hour where any time now the Son of God will come. The question is, when he comes, will he find you ready to be received unto himself? I've come here to declare to you today that God can change your story. I don't know what people may have said about you. I don't know what people think about you. I don't know how people look at you. I don't know what kind of news they spread concerning your house. But I've come to declare today that Jesus can make all things well. That Jesus can make a nobody into a somebody, a nothing into a something. Today, will you place your hope and your trust in the name of Jesus? Will you place your future in the hands of Jesus? I've come to declare today that God can do the impossible. It might be impossible with man, but when it comes to Jesus, nothing is impossible. God can do the impossible. He can cause limbs to grow. He can cause the dead to rise. He can cause blindness to disappear. He can cause the disabled to once again become able. This is the God that we serve today. This is the God that we serve today. This is the God that we serve today.